Hello everybody, welcome to another episode. You know what day it is? It is World Download Day, World Download Day. As soon as this episode finishes, I will make a download of this world available to the public, so you can go down to the description and check it out there. Should be a Mediafire link, you can go and download it and just experience it for yourself. And what I will say is that it's best to play this in alpha 1.1.2_01. You can probably get away with playing this version, or this world, in versions from here up to mid-beta. So maybe around beta 1.5 or 1.4 or something like that. I think at some point the terrain generation, not the terrain generation, but the way that terrain is generated is altered. And so if you try to play with it in any of the modern versions, it won't work. Unless you're playing an older version, so I would recommend playing it in this version. You can check it out. You can improve one or two of my builds. You can get TNT and blow up my builds. It's up to you. But this was requested by Warrior back a couple of weeks ago, so I've decided for episode 60. Bit of a landmark, but might as well give it a go. I've never released a world download before, but you can check it out, see how it looks. And yeah, so bit of a more chill episode today. We're going to add to the museum, or the hallway of museums, or the hallway of updates, or whatever you want to call it. And we're also going to go and work a bit on the village next to the massive tower. But apart from that, I don't really have much else planned. I also want to alter the rail system again, but this time I've finally figured out what I'm doing. We need signs. So as you just saw there, this fishing rod it might be the first one I've crafted. I've not tried to use it. We'll use this one in the museum. Now usually I only use blocks in the museum, but because Alpha 1.1 has a limit to what was added, we're just going to use the items as well. And that includes a compass. So we shall add a compass there, and I'm going to put a sign over the top of it saying compass. And then we'll put a sign over the top of this one, and it says fishing rod. So, yep, modern day PvPers from 1.8, 1.7 and 1.8 have this update to thank for adding their favourite secondary. New paintings were added, but I don't think we're going to be able to get anywhere. Let's find a good paint. Not that one, not one of the two tall ones, because I think they both existed. So the thing is, I don't know what half of them are. Should we just go with that one? I don't like adding signs, but we've got to, otherwise I'm going to have no idea what this is all about. Especially this. I added this in my journal world. It's to show off the shifting, or the sneaking, the crouching. We'll call it sneaking / crouching. I was going to say, you see the light down there, that comes from the void. So this was obviously one of the chunks generated in InfDev when Bedrock would sometimes not generate on the lowest level, and so that's what you can see down there. You can see some of the void, or a hole to the void that I found. So unfortunately it doesn't appear like out in the open. It's not like we can jump in it, but still kind of cool to have that as part of the museum as well. Anyway, what we're going to do is we are going to go and alter the railway slightly. Currently, as you will see here, I'm relying on the acceleration of this downward slope to take the car from A to B. I bet you would get glitched. I always get glitched whenever I'm recording and I'm taking this rail track. But I'm relying on the downward slope of the first section to accelerate the minecart, get up to maximum velocity. And that's all good and well, but the problem is it slows down. There's no other boosters from here to the end. Obviously there's the booster at the end, but that only works coming back the way. In fact, it can actually be detrimental, because if I send minecarts with chests down here, they'll end up flying back the way. So it's kind of counterproductive, although we do seem to be getting further than usual. As you can see, it is quite laggy, but that's purely because of the fact I've just logged into the world, and it always seems to be laggy whenever I first log in. Jings, I left these down here. What is in here? Okay, just sticks. Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of these somehow. But before we do anything, I'm going to try and add another booster section. And I'm going to add that along there. Let's get the crafting table down. Oh yeah, I should say that this actually burnt down, this area. because when I originally dug out this trench for the booster, the initial booster section, we don't need that anymore. Oh no, never mind, you can punch it off. Didn't appreciate that. Yeah, when I first dug this out, it was obsidian, and there was obviously lava below the obsidian, and so one of them caught fire from being too close to the obsidian, and this whole place got torched, but as you can see, it's all better. This room's been cleared out as well. All there is the one track that takes the initial booster back to its back to the starting location. So I'm not sure what we'll use this room for. To be fair, we could make a booster out of it, but I'm not... Yeah, we could actually. I'm not actually opposed to that. That might be quite useful. That would be a good alternative. So basically, the idea with this section is it's got a place for all minecarts coming to this area. It's got a place for them to go without intersecting with the booster. However, because we've got this massive room, we might have the opportunity to create a booster in this room. I might do that actually. So really, the booster we would be looking at would be... It would start here, or the main minecart section would obviously start here, but then it would go through this wall, and then it would go down here. So as you can see, the minecart would come in here, it would drop down, then in this section here, which we can mark out using cobblestone, I guess, would be the booster minecart, and that would go all the way along to the end. And then it would come back along here. Problem is though, if you try to go through the wall, you end up there. I guess what we would have to do would be to get it to go up early and take a sharp turn, and come out here. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Thankfully, I do have a diamond pickaxe, so we can get rid of obsidian if need be. But as you can see, this is what I'm planning. Bring the minecart out here. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to work it. Alright, here we've got the two-way booster. It basically boosts minecarts in every direction they come. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add the booster there. Well, it needs to go all the way up against that wall. And then we need to get rid of some of these tracks. And we're going to probably just level it out, to be honest. We need to boost the mine, or start the minecart off like this. Oh, it's going to be so slow at the start. But it picks up speed here, which is the main thing. And then as you can see, it boosts the booster minecart back. And then the hope is we can continue on to our destination. So, I mean, at the start it's obviously a lot slower. But the hope is that what is lost in terms of immediate acceleration is made up for in terms of efficiency and ease of access and that sort of a thing. So I think this is a superior method for doing it. What we could do is we could do something like this, where we have a bit of a longer boost to the minecart here. This might help speed it up a bit. Get rid of that, add that. Right, there we go. How does this work? It's still very slow, a little bit quicker, but once it gets to the booster section... Actually, I've just thought it might not work coming back. Yeah, it's not going to work coming back. What we're going to have to do is move it all forward one, which I don't particularly want to do. But for the sake of enabling this second section to work, we've got to do it. There we go, and there we go. Cool. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked before because the booster minecart would have been one back. Although we don't really need it to work, that being said. But it would still be nice. Oh dear. Oh, rats. Didn't mean to do that. Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm going to have to get rid of these sticks. And I don't actually have a good place to get rid of them. We could put them here, maybe. That's what the cobble is. Yeah, I didn't realise I had that double chest. Oh, here we go. This is the area we put sticks, it seems. Anyway, we're going to add another booster section further up. That's going to hopefully... Well, it's going to affect both carts, but especially carts coming to where I am now. And we'll just implement that. I'm not going to make it too big. I'm going to make it a lot smaller than the last one. The last one was integral. Actually, we should probably check, make sure this booster section does get this cart all the way to the end. I'm sure it does, but let's just double check. Alright, here we go. Let's see. So this initial slow section, a wee bit annoying. but it does get underway eventually. Surely this is maximum velocity, surely. Right, here's a big task. Will it get up the hill in a oneer? It's doing well. Would you believe it? It's actually made it all the way to the end. I did not think that was going to happen. But it did. Anyway, let's go back down and sort out the booster at the other end. We can't really put a booster on the diagonal here, just because of the amount of, the amount of lava, the diagonal rails, the fact it probably wouldn't look so good. I remember digging this out. It took me a whole day, I think. Well, either way, it took a lot longer than anticipated. Alright, I'm hoping this booster is long enough to, really accelerate the cart a decent amount. Let's just reapply the torches there, and we'll leave, minecart there. So now, I guess we better start at the spawner end of the rail. Man, rails of this version are really, really peculiar. Because this is considered a glitch, this is the minecart booster glitch, what would the alternative be to, actually move a minecart? Like, were they anticipating people would use this, the furnace minecarts maybe? Maybe they assumed that they would just use loads of hills or something. I really don't know. Right, we're going to test both ways. I'm confident that this journey will go smoothly because we've already tested it. But let's see how the return journey does. Again, that initial section really annoys me, but what can you do? We're just going to have to live with it for the better alternative. And obviously the main feature is the second boost along here. Alright, here we go. Yep, seems to work. Does it accelerate it? Maybe. It's hard to tell really. But we still seem to be going at a similar velocity. I'm not sure what the calculations are behind it, as in, what sort of a boost does a minecart need in order to reach max velocity, and how long will that last? I'm getting a lot of mega lag spikes, but it just seems to be this version. Oh, lovely. I mean, at least it glitched out right at the end and not halfway down the track. Oh, have we lost the minecart? Nope, minecart's still there. Cool. Right, let's go back the way. Bet you it glitches out again. Yeah, I don't think the glitches are necessarily to do with his version. I think it could just be to do with his world. Right, so this is the part I'm interested in. Return journey used to have only one method of acceleration. Now it's got two, and this should, in theory, take us all the way to the end. It should be enough to take us to the end if the boost is lengthy enough. Then obviously there's the boost right at the very end, but, it's only secondary, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't need to be boosted five blocks, really. Let's see then. Let's see what happens when we go in here. We get that extra boost for no reason whatsoever. I like how the Minecraft player model moves with the minecart. Okay. See, that's a little more awkward when you end up rolling back, but it works. That is the main thing. Right, so on to the main part of the video, which, let's be honest, we're probably like 20 minutes in, and it's probably time to end, but I'm going to just push on and we'll hopefully get the best part of what I want to do done. We're back here at this village. We've got a few houses, we've got the kirk, we've got the mega tower. What we're going to do is, well, first of all, I kind of want to add a bit of a path around this whatever this is, grandstand kind of thing, and then we're going to add some crops, I reckon. I couldn't think of what to add here, but I think crops would look okay. We'll just have to wait and see how that pans out, but first let's add in a bit of a path here that just intersects with, or that goes all the way around the grandstand. I'm going to actually try and change this out with dirt, I reckon. I don't think it's going to work because it might actually. I'm not sure if grass will be able to spread over here, but let's give it a go. Change this all out with dirt. Also, I think it's in the shadow. Yeah, it's in the shadow of the roof. So it's just for a different texture here. I'm not saying dirt looks better than grass. It's just, as I said, different texture. We might add flowers or something if I can find any. Right, there we go. So we got that. That looks okay. Then we've got a bit of area over here, which I'm not quite sure what we'll do with. Let's actually just, yeah, raise this section a bit. And we might incorporate this into the farmland. Okay. Right, now... yeah, this is going to be the majority of the farmland here. I guess we could mark out the area a bit like that. So everything this side of these torches in the road is going to be farmland. It's kind of like a diagonal. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it. But what I do want to do is work with a bit of a checkered pattern. Oh, cows are going to be a pain, aren't they? Cows and other animals are going to trample it. I'm pretty sure if you just walk over farmland in this version, it just untills, which is why back at base I've got the farmland raised up, so I'm not going to walk on it. I learned that mistake, or I learned that lesson from my previous alpha world. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to work on a checkered pattern. Like this. Although I'm not sure if we should have the checkered part here or here. Let's just leave it as it is. This is just for something a wee bit different. I'm not sure if we'll have... I'm not sure if we'll have crops down at the bottom or up top or both. Plus I'm not sure where the water is going to go. Okay, so far that is what the checker pattern looks like. I like it so far. I think what we're going to do is add probably cobble to the bottom of the lower sections, and we're going to put water here. And then we shall, just put the crops in the raised sections. I think that would look, well, semi-decent. I'm not quite sure how good it's going to look, but it's something a little bit different. That's really what I'm going for here. I was going to put a build here, but I didn't really want to put a build here because I thought that might make the area feel a bit more enclosed. I wanted to keep it open, relatively flat, and that's really what this accomplishes. Okay, so I've just figured out that lighting might be an issue. I'm not quite sure how we're going to light up the area. I'm not actually sure what the rules are with regards to seeds in this version. I wonder if you could actually plant them in the dark, because you can't in modern versions. Well, I think you could in these versions. Let's just test that out. As you can see, I've got a few seeds with me. I've also got an iron garden utensil that I no doubt crafted by accident. Oh, we got a seed there, brilliant. Okay, yeah, so you can plant them. If you walk over, hang on. If you walk over this, yeah, as you can see, that untilled because I walked over it. Well, first of all, I'm going to fill up all the water areas, and then we can figure out what to do about lighting. I was thinking of maybe just getting some lava lighting and putting it in some of the holes, but I don't think that's going to be good. I'm not sure I would like that. Okay, as you can see, if you can see, I know it's a bit dark, we are almost finished the plantation, or the planting of the wheat, or the seeds that will eventually turn into wheat. This isn't a farm that I'm going to be using. It's more just for decoration, although I'm sure that's been made clear already. I'm having to pick up all the... well, I don't have to pick up all the seeds, but I just find it useful to... might as well stockpile them all I can in case I need them for something like this in future. Anyway, there we go. So, the biggest issue though is mobs and sheep and whatnot will be able to jump on them and that, so we might have to add a fence. I'm going to leave it like that for now, just keep an eye on it, and if I find that a lot of crops are being trampled, I will have to obviously do something about that, and I will add the fence. Okay, so we're going to finish this episode off with another build here. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. We'll just have to wait and see. I was hopeful of making some sort of a barn slash storage room type thing, but yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to get away with that. I'm not sure if it's going to look that good over there. We might have to think of something else, to be honest, because the design I had in mind I feel is a bit of a lazy design, and it'll be one of these ones that I'll tear down in a future episode or something like that. But yeah, the plan was just to create a bit of an overhang, really, or a ceiling, something like, if I could just shape it real quick, something like that, and then make it go along 3, and then we'll bring it down, and it'll end up, yeah, just like one big arch. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there you go. So our plan was to make it something like that, maybe have more of a curve on it. You know, it might look okay, but I'm not convinced, so let's come up with another design. Right, we are going to do a barn, but we're not going to do it in that specific style. I say barn, I don't know, some sort of storage area for crops or whatever. Not necessarily to be used, but more just to put something here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put... You know what, we could have a dirt... Oh, we could have a dirt roof. Problem is I've got rid of all my dirt. I need to go and get some. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll do that. And then... Oh, maybe a dirt roof wouldn't look so good after all. Maybe we should just go for the old wooden roof or something. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, would the roof look better with a different block or with grass, or just as it is? I mean, at the minute, it's certainly unique. I'm not sure if cobble's necessarily the best thing to put there. Maybe we could try some mossy cobblestone. Or maybe we should make the roof a bit higher. So I don't want the roof to be too high. I want it to be fairly close to the ground. I want to give it a very humble kind of look. And that's why it's not going to look like that, or you know, that. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's what I've got so far. Doesn't look too bad. We could use fences, to be fair, to cordon it off. We don't need to use walls or doors. That was another glitch there. But it's just something, you know, something a bit more unique, instead of just, you know, what we've always done here. I say what we've always done, what I've always done. I'm not holding anyone else accountable for my awful endeavours in this world. I say awful. I mean, they're all right. It's just I feel like I could have done a better job with one or two of them. And obviously, a lot of them were ripped off of other people, so... Yeah, what we could do, right enough, is... possibly just add fences over the entrance, or over the, you know, certain areas like here. I mean, that it doesn't look so good when it doesn't connect, but, you know, at the end of the day it does the job. You can't get past, you can't jump over. Does that look... I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not convinced I'm going to get something that's any better. Maybe, I feel like mossy would help. I'm going to go get some mossy. Oh dear, yes. So I did have to put a fence up eventually. Passive or hostile mobs must have trampled the crops at some point, and so I had to just put a fence up in order to prevent any more damage being done. The fence, it was kind of awkward to put in because I had to lower the size of the farm by a single block. I didn't know what block to put below the fences, so I just went with cobble, which obviously means there's a lot of cobblestone lying around. But there you go. As for the barn itself, this is what it looks like. I'm okay with it. We've got a bit of mossy in there, which looks okay. It's one of these blocks that you don't really use much, unless obviously the opportune moment arises, which this was an opportune moment in my eyes. So this is what it looks like inside. We've got gravel for the floor. I'd like to use coarse dirt, but obviously that doesn't exist, so gravel's the next best thing. I couldn't really use dirt because the grass would obviously spread. Although to be fair, the dirt has managed to linger here, which is good. By the time I make the download, hopefully I'll have AFK'd long enough for the grass to completely cover the roof there. I think the grass will look a lot better than just the plain dirt. So I think I'd be okay with that. Beyond that, not much else is to be said for this area. It's looking alright. Kind of want to put something in this area. I was going to put a tree, but I mean, we've got fire there, so a tree's probably not the best shout. We've got trees hopefully going to grow in these areas, so I will AFK long enough for them to grow. I would use bone meal to grow them, but I don't need to tell you why I can't do that. I'm sure you know. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode there. There should be a download link in the description if you want to download this world and have a look for yourself, build in it, destroy it, whatever you want to do. I would suggest using it in Alpha 1.1.2. You could get away with using it in the later Alpha updates, 1.2, but the grass colour will be different because obviously the new biome system will have been implemented, and that changes the light green grass to yellow grass, teal grass, dark green grass, whatever biomes lie over these areas. You might be able to get away with using it in beta as well, but obviously again the grass colour will be different, so I'd recommend this update, but whatever suits you. Unfortunately you can't use it in modern updates unless you take it through a certain update, but I don't know what that update is, can't be bothered looking. If you want to know, find out for yourself, but that's the situation there. You cannot use this world as it is now in modern updates. Anyway, thank you very much for checking out this episode. All the best. I will see you later.